he is a little overrated, bro. Like, okay, all right. So don't even. I know it sounds skeptical to think, but let's take a look at his roster that he's playing with. For every reason that we just hyped up C.J. Stroud to be better than prime Deshaun Watson in Houston, when Buddy was a 10-season minimum game winner a year. When have we ever seen Justin Herbert wheel his team to that many wins for one and look like that good as Deshaun Watson like that? And every year it's the same thing. It's the coaching. It's the OC. They bring in Kellen Moore. Nothing changes. And you can't put it all on Brandon Staley. You know what I'm saying? He's got two jobs to do. Take care of the defense and the offense. And he's a defensive-minded coordinator. I mean, coach. You know what I'm saying? Justin Herbert is a gamer. Just like Deshaun Watson he's a gamer. I mean, a baller. They're both ballers. They put up great stats. They're fun to watch play, but they don't necessarily elevate their team to the next level.
Welcome in to Stand Bounds, the sports podcast of the people. I'm your host, Corey P, here alongside Howard. How you doing, bro?
What's good? How y'all doing? Bills Mafia. We gotta take care of some business now, boys. Gotta go 5-0.
And K-Wall, what's up, bro?
Doing good, doing good. Burr Gang, please stop fucking winning. All right, we've got one job. We just gotta lose, man. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's coming down to that point where, a lot of teams are starting to get eliminated from playoff contentions, the Panthers. And some teams it's time for them to start looking towards the future, starting to look for that draft pick instead of the future. I don't understand why the Panthers doing it because they don't have that first round pick. But anyway, moving on. All right, so with our picks in last week, we had K-Wall take over the number one place, but he had a pretty bad week last week. Afterwards, going 4-9. Howard went 7-6, and I went 8-5, which is bringing our record to K-Wall 94-75, Howard 92-77, and I told y'all stay in the fight. The fight is never over. So now, K-Wall, I'm tied for first with you after that bad week at 94-75.
On top of the mountain. That's crazy.
So,
that's crazy. Because weren't you down like, that's wild.
Yo, man, I was down in the trenches.
You was down like 10 last week or something. That's wild.
I was in the trenches. Now
I got too risky last week. I tried to replicate what I did the week before and just go with, like the risky picks last week. That's backfired. So I'm gonna have to think a little bit more when we do this here in a little bit.
Hey man, shoot, I haven't had the feeling a bit in that number one spot, So I hope
stop taking the freaking Jets every fucking pick. Maybe
yeah.
Well, all right. So a lot of things going on in the NFL we're gonna get to today, and where I want to start is with the Dallas Cowboys. Over the past few years,
America's team.
America's team. Yeah, we're giving Dak a lot of flack about making dumb decisions, and but his stats has always been there. And Dak Prescott, he's starting to look looking very well this year. That team is looking like a Super Bowl contending team, and with Dak Prescott, he's in the midst for the MVP. So if Dak wins the MVP, does that make him a top 5 quarterback in the league?
Hands down. Because from that top 5, who do you got in there in that top 5 right now? Definitely Pat Mahomes, Allen. Make a case for Lamar. Who else? Who else would be the other two you put in there?
Burrow.
No, or
Burrow.
Okay, bro. All right. And then who else?
And then it's a toss-up. You got the Herberts, the Warrens.
Yeah, you're like 7 guys. So let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say we throw Hurts in there, right? Of all 5 of those guys, only 2 of them ever won an MVP, and Pat and Lamar. You know what I'm saying? So if Dak, with the stats that he's rolling into this year with, then he wins an MVP and he makes a deep playoff run, yeah, you got to throw him in there. Because he's not trash. Like, I get it. He plays for the most polarizing team in the entire league under the biggest spotlight. So every little thing he does will be dissected with a microscope. You know what I'm saying? But the guy's not trash. I don't think he's terrible. Because everyone's like, oh, get rid of Dak. What's the alternative? You know what I'm saying? All these teams that don't have a QB would pick him up and give him 150, $200 million tomorrow. So I think if he pulls that off, I didn't know he was that close to possibly winning it. I thought there was a shoe in for Lamar, but if he does pull that off and he gets a deep playoff run, yeah, you can't deny him anymore.
Right now, I'm thinking it's like a 3-person race. I think it's Purdy, Dak, and Lamar. But I don't know. It's kind of your. But go ahead, Howard. How you thinking about this?
That's Bush League. Purdy.
Honestly, I have to agree with K-Wall. If he does get an MVP, he's top 5. But the problem is, I don't think he wins the MVP this year. I mean, even if he kind of like does his thing and has a good record, I mean, you have to. No quarterbacks really had a good year this year. Let's be honest. So you got to look at maybe giving it to CMC, who's carrying a team, or Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, yeah.
Yeah, as I say, like, so I honestly think it's gonna be one of the. It's probably gonna be Tyreek or McCaffrey. But if Dallas wins out, then yeah, he's gonna win the MVP. And if he does that, he's top 5. But I'll put a lot of money that none of those happen.
If you had to pick today, who do you think wins it today? If the league stopped right now today, who do you think wins it?
Probably Tyreek.
But you know this is a quarterback's award now. Like,
yeah, I think you'd have to give it to Lamar, or they'd find a reason to give it to Purdy,
probably Purdy,
Hurts, or something like that. Yeah,
it's a quarterback's award. So like luckily good thing that they do is they give offensive player of the year to more of a wide receiver, running back, whatever. But that MVP normally going to go to a quarterback. But when I look at it, does it make Dak a top 5 quarterback? It's really hard to put him out of that. Because when you're looking at it, right, his stats are up there with them. Like, he's going 38 to 4,500 yards. His team. But it's going to come down to this year. This game this week, because I feel like this game this week is going to make his case for if he's going to be MVP or not. But I ain't going to lie. Let's say, does that make up for all the mistakes that Dak make in late game situations? And let's say he make it, he wins the MVP, but Jalen Hurts go win the Super Bowl. Who like do we still put him in the top 5 off that MVP, or would it be Jalen Hurts? You know what I mean?
It's hard because if he wins the MVP and he makes a deep run, you know what I'm saying? It just seems like you're being a hater, not putting him in there. You get what I'm saying? Like say he doesn't win it, right? Say Hurts wins and Hurts makes a long run, and you find some reason not to put Hurts in there. It just seems like you're being a hater, and that goes for not Burrow. But that goes for those guys that are on the outside spot, like Hurts, Dak, Herbert, Lawrence, them kind of guys. You gotta push them in front of the pile because their accomplishments as a quarterback is outweighing what these other guys are doing, their intangibles and their physical traits that they bring to the field every Sunday. So
yeah, I'm definitely along that lines. It just gets kind of shaky. Dak top 5. It just something that don't sound right about that. You know what I mean? Like say it. What did you say, Howard?
To your point though, like what if they both meet in that NFC Championship game? Dak win MVP. Jalen beats him in the NFC Championship game and then wins the Super Bowl. Which one holds more weight? Well, you know what I mean? That's a scenario that is wild. I just thought of that because you said that. And at that point, what weighs more? You getting an MVP, or is it you winning the Super Bowl? Which one weighs more on a resume?
Yeah, I mean, because it comes down to, because at the same time you got to think MVP is individual, right? Yeah. Super Bowl is more team oriented, right? So if your team is good enough, you can win an MVP. Win a Super Bowl, right? Like, what's his name? Trent Dilfer from the Ravens. That defense was nice enough, everybody, but nobody would ever say Trent, or even Joe Flacco. Speaking of the Ravens, nobody ever put Joe in that top 5, but his team was good enough. He had one of the most amazing playoff runs we ever seen. And
look at Nick Foles. No one ever even brings him in the top 25. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So like, it just
Brady.
It just in this situation, it comes down to it gets kind of harder because Jalen Hurts do put up the numbers. He's due. he does everything. Even gets like I saw something the other day. Like he got the most rushing touchdowns in like the first certain amount of games, and it was like over Cam. It was for a quarterback over Cam,
Yeah.
over Josh Allen. I'm like, good lord, this
That
man.
that
That
damn
tush
tush
push was
push.
crazy.
Yo.
Tush
That,
push, yeah, dude.
that
Tush
tush
push.
push. I
I ain't gonna
see.
lie. I ain't gonna lie. That one where he shotgun ran it straight in the end zone for the win. Not trying to be funny, Howard. That one was all legs. But a lot of those are like from the 2 yard, 3 yard line, 1 yard line, the tush push. But like you said, right? Okay, so say Hurts wins the MVP, but Dak carries his team to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Because the guys ain't throwing the passes to themselves, and Pollard isn't what we thought he was going to be this year as far as a rushing attack. You know what I'm saying? So they're scoring 45 points off the shoulders of Dak slinging that thing around. Then you really have a tough decision to make of who's top five. Because yeah, Hurts won the MVP, but if Dak carries them to the mountaintop, what's more glorious, winning an MVP, which is an individual award, or carrying 53 men to the mountaintop to win a championship? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So this is what I'm gonna tell you, right? If Dak won the Super Bowl, right? Dak top five, and it's not even necessarily. It don't even matter about his play no more. Him winning a Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys,
Yeah, they're just gonna automatically put him
like
in.
They're not even gonna be top five. They're gonna catapult them to number two, and then
yeah,
they're gonna make every excuse about Mahomes fading and stuff like that, and try and push him to the forefront.
yeah, nah, that winning a Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys is like him being goaded. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's a few games, and he putting up the numbers where it's gonna be hard if he can win like this game and probably win out. It's gonna be hard to say he's not the MVP and put him not in the top five. So moving on, right? So we got a quarterback that has been the clear number one for the past 4 years, 5 years. And
Wow.
it's like nobody has come close. We haven't seen a quarterback do the things that he's done since Tom Brady, you know? And even when Tom Brady was doing it, he wasn't even putting up the passing numbers that this guy is doing, which is Pat Mahomes. But this has been a rough year for the Chiefs. Kelsey is looking like, he's finally starting to hit that age where it's starting to get a little shaky. Obviously, they're not putting the wide receivers around Pat. I mean, they got Rashee Rice, who is looking like, he could be a good wide receiver in the future. And, that defense has been keeping them in a lot of games. So, my question for y'all is Pat Mahomes' reign as the clear number one quarterback in the league coming to an end?
Um, man, I want to say yes so damn bad. I've been waiting
Ain't
for
no
this day,
business. Say it.
but I can't because I think a lot of people have kind of forgot about so when Josh Allen lost Brian Dable and his play diminished, everyone was just like, oh, Dable left, that's why, right? And I think it's kind of unfair that Pat Mahomes, no one gives him that, hey, I lost my offensive coordinator I won two Super Bowls with. My numbers the next year might go down a little bit, especially with the bums they put this dude around. I'll make the excuse for him and Herbert because I've watched this. The receivers drop the damn ball way too much. So he's got what, two MVPs, two Super Bowls. I think you got to give him at least this year as kind of like everyone has a down year because I still think he's the best quarterback, and I can't say he's fading away because he's
Mm,
built such I don't know, legacy already. He has.
I'm gonna stop you right there, buddy. I'm gonna stop you right there. All right. You can't sit here and praise CJ Stroud every Sunday, right, for doing more with less. You know what I'm saying? Do more or less. You can't sit here and say any of the guys that they got on the Houston Texans. I know we use it as an example because this is the first time we've seen someone do this at this level in a long time. You can't say the receivers and the Texans are so much more better than what they have in Kansas City. Is it maybe an offensive coordinator problem, scheming problem? Probably. Yeah. But I'm not going to sit here and say that. Oh, you can make every excuse for the guy for Pat Mahomes. This is a guy that they've touted as the pinnacle of being a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? The gold standard of quarterback play. And just like you mentioned earlier, Tom Brady. Tom Brady used to get busy with random guys. You know You know what I'm saying? Off the practice squad, guys who strictly play special teams and make them look like the guy. So is Pat Mahomes fading? Yeah, I think he is. I think he's fading a little bit. I don't think he's fading at a rapid rate to where it's noticeable just yet, but some of them throws he made on when was it? Monday? Yeah, Monday night against the Packers. Some of those throws are a little sus. Throws that he would have never made. And it's kind of like the argument we make every week. Like, how much more do you need? You know what I'm saying? You got Travis Kelce. How does Travis Kelce go the entire second half with one target? It's not like he wasn't open. You know what I'm saying? It's a scheming problem. It's an OC problem. And maybe it's a decision making problem on Pat Mahomes. Maybe he's trying to do too much. Or maybe he's not seeing the field like he used to. You know what I'm saying? When you've been that great for that long, you start fading a little bit, people notice. You know what I'm saying? You start making bullshit ass throws, people notice. Some of them picks that he was throwing were kind of like, damn, bro, like I wouldn't have even thrown it over there. You know what I'm saying? But is he still great? Yeah, he's still amazing. He's a great guy. He's gonna bounce back this week and go stupid, probably. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying he gets up for these games. You know what I'm saying? But I think there's just a wee bit of fading in there, and I know the fans are gonna rip me a new one in the comments, but I don't care. I think there's just a wee bit of fading or like that.
So Pat Mahomes' greatness, it can't be denied. You know, he had these great accomplishments: 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls, been in 3, and never missed the AFC Championship as a starter. Well, let's be honest. Yes, it is a fade because if you and all right, the question is he not the clear number one anymore? And yes, I think there is because you want to talk about an OC, right? If your team if you're on any good team, right? Your OC, your DC, they're leaving. That's what happens. They're going to become head coaches. Hurts, his OC left. You know, we've seen a little drop in numbers. Okay, cool. But this is Pat Mahomes we're talking about. We're talking about the guy that we are touting as, you know, we're already saying that in my, you know, head, I'm saying he's already surpassed Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers was the most talented guy we have seen since ever. So with that being said, if his OC is left and he's not still doing the same things that he's doing, I feel like there's a problem in that. With that, we also never seen Pat Mahomes without Travis Kelce, right? He also had Tyreek Hill all them years, right? So it's not like he ever came into a place where it was just devoid of talent. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what we're looking at? We're looking at Tyreek Hill in the MVP conversation, as we talked about. We're looking at a Travis Kelce, who a lot of people say is the greatest tight end of all time. So now that Travis Kelce is his play is, you know, as you get older, obviously your play drops a little bit. So now that we're starting to see the little hits in Travis Kelce's game, and with that coming Pat Mahomes' game coming down again, are we saying like there's a problem there? Are we saying as Travis Kelce get older and retire, is Pat Mahomes not going to be able to do the same things he do? You know, Pat Mahomes always going to be great. He's always going to be a top 5 quarterback for the rest of his career. He's always going to, you know, put up decent numbers, and that's not what I'm saying. But is he still going to be the clear number one as his weapons go? I don't know. You know, Andy getting up there in age. What happens when Andy leaves?
That's the one. That's the one.
Is he still going to be able to do the same things without an Andy Reid? So, I mean, will Pat Mahomes be top 5 for the rest of his career? Absolutely. I don't see no doubt in that. But will he be the number 1 quarterback for the rest of his career?
But then think about this though, right? Say Travis Kelce retires. Say Andy Reid leaves. With as much as Pat Mahomes has accomplished or whatever like that, who's to say maybe he wants to end his career a little bit earlier than we all expected him to. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that would be crazy.
That'd be crazy. Don't get me wrong, it'd be crazy, but we've seen it more times than not. What if he just loses that love for it? You know what I'm saying? Right. A couple down seasons, you know what I'm saying?
That would be the biggest. I feel like that'd be worse than Andrew Luck ending his career early. If Pat Mahomes, because Pat Mahomes, I don't feel like he'll ever do that because he actually got a chance to catch Brady. He's the only quarterback right now that has a chance to catch Brady. So for him to end his career early.
No, but I'm saying, what if he never wins another championship again? You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
and he's still at 2.
I feel like he'll be on that chase, right? Because Because what is the real chase, right? I mean, at worst, right? I don't know. We never watched Joe Montana or whatever. You might watch highlights, whatever. But like the older generation, whatever they look at it, they say Joe Montana is probably some say the best, some say the second best. I'll obviously put Brady as my best quarterback, but in that older generation, he could at least catch Montana, maybe four. What he had four. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he got a chance with that. I mean, I believe Joe Montana went 4-0, but if he don't lose another Super Bowl and his only loss is to Tom Brady, who we consider the GOAT, are we really gonna count that against him? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Imagine how many people lost to Tom Brady.
Yeah. Like that's why we put Eli. Like Eli yo, you wow. That's why we put Eli in a situation where he gonna possibly be a Hall of Famer because he beat the GOAT twice. Nick Foles is not gonna get that love because he was a backup, but I mean, but he do get a lot of love. He got a whole statue out of that. Um, I don't know, man. I just think Pat, there's some kinks in that armor.
Do you think even so? What if Pat matches Tom in rings? Does that does Tom's win over him put him over him? Just even if they match?
No, if Pat gets many rings as Tom, because you got to realize Tom also came in the era where the running back was doing a lot of stuff too. So even though Tom gonna have he got the most yards in history, whatever. About Tom, I don't. Okay, it depends, right? It
See,
depends on how he win these rings, right? If he win these rings, kind of like, all right, 1 year on, 1 year off, like something in that, and he don't have that like 10-year hiatus like Brady did. And he don't, because let's say he wins the 7 rings, but he don't play as long as Brady, so he cannot break just Brady's longevity records.
yeah,
It's gonna be kind of hard because he probably not gonna throw for 70,000 yards like Brady did or whatever.
shit,
Shit,
wild.
yeah, true.
But I don't know. It'll be very close because this whole GOAT argument comes based on generations. We've seen Brady, so obviously, in our generation, we're gonna say Brady. But like my kids, or K-Wall's kids, or Howard, whenever you have kids, it might be Pat Mahomes as they GOAT because they never really seen Brady play. So I don't know,
Facts.
man.
That's crazy to think about because even though I hate him, I can't not think of him not being the goat.
Yeah, I mean, same, kind of like the LeBron and Jordan debate. Like for me, when Jordan was doing his winning, I was just being born, and I was
Yeah,
still.
Facts.
So like,
And
I think,
it's not like a slight to their legacy or
yeah,
like you're disregarding like what they've done. You can't speak on it intelligently enough to vouch for it because you've never seen it happen in real time. So you
and
never
it's a
experienced that greatness like on a TV screen or in person. I've been watching LeBron since I was in freaking diapers. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
all I'm
Like
saying. Like, and it's a feeling
2004,
thing.
what was that? I was 8 years old. Yeah, so I clearly have seen LeBron my entire adult life, with childhood, teenager years. So I can speak on that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it, the greatness with my own eyes. It's
And this,
hard to defend something you never saw.
see, and they can make the documentaries like The Last Dance or whatever, but like we felt when LeBron won that first championship. We felt when LeBron went back to Cleveland, and Cleveland, this is for you. We felt that was a feeling that we got to experience. You know what I mean? So
That's probably the most I am him moment ever. He's
yeah,
going back to Cleveland
and
against
winning
all
against
odds
that
and winning your city
Warriors.
one. Yeah.
so it's a feeling with that. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. We'll see. But all right, with that, let's move on to. So we just talked about how Pat Mahomes, his greatness, it's there, but he may be wavering as number 1 quarterback. But another question I got to ask y'all is, how the way the season is going, we're seeing a lot of teams that are looking like they're better than them, even in the AFC. So will KC not be in the AFC Championship for the first time in the Pat Mahomes era?
Ooh. All right, so you guys. All right, so let's look at it like this, right? The state of the AFC right now, their biggest threat, probably most likely right now today, is the Rams and the Ravens and the Dolphins. All right. I mean, the Jags, yeah, but I wouldn't put them in that class just yet. They haven't proven to be out there just yet. But do the Chiefs, if the Chiefs play the Dolphins today 10 times, do they beat them? How many times you say? Maybe 6 times, maybe?
100%. Dolphins are ass.
Now I don't know.
6 times? I don't know. That's a tough team. And then,
Because you got to think
because
that
look,
defense
you
is
got to
coming
think, this
together
ain't,
now.
yeah, you got to think, though, too. Yeah, that defense has come together, but the offense has taken a step back. You know what I'm saying? What used to get them by is, yeah, the defense was sus, but that offense was putting up 40 on everybody. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this offense is taking a step back. And the two teams I just named can score on anyone and anyone at any given moment as much as they want. And both of those teams boast decent defenses, you know, especially the Ravens. I think the Ravens is probably their biggest threat. So do I think they win the AFC Championship again this year? I'm going to say no this year because I've been touting the Ravens since the beginning of the season. I think the Ravens are going to go to the Super Bowl with Lamar. I think we're going to have a
So
Lamar
so
versus
so
Hurts Super Bowl.
so
Yeah.
the question is, do the Chiefs make it to the AFC Championship game?
Oh, no. If they see the Dolphins or the Ravens before that, I don't know. But no, I don't think they make it to the AFC Championship because I don't think they get that number one seed, and that used to always gift wrap them the championship was getting that one seed, winning the next round, and then going. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if they can get that number one seed, so I'm gonna say no. They don't go to the AFC Championship this year.
Uh,
All right.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I feel like out of nowhere I've like become a Chiefs fan, but I can't. I can't say they're not going to be there because even if like the Chiefs lose this week to the Bills, which I think they do, they're still probably going to have a 2 seed. And the Dolphins have a tough schedule, so the Dolphins can drop some. And the Ravens, their offense kind of looks sus. I ain't gonna lie, the Ravens' offense looks suspect right now. I I just I don't think they're not going to be there. I don't trust the Jaguars. I don't trust the Texans. I don't trust the Steelers, the Colts, the Browns. I don't trust any of those teams that are, in the playoffs right now to beat them. I don't even trust the Dolphins to beat them. The Dolphins haven't beat anybody. They've lost to everybody that has a winning record. So they still can't beat a good team. So do I think they make it? Yeah, I could see them playing the Ravens. I could see them playing us. We sneak in, you know what I mean? But but I definitely think the AFC Championship game is gonna be KC versus whoever makes it. Like I just that's how I see it. I don't
I'm
trust.
just praying. The only reason why I said I didn't want to see Casey there, bro, is not only because I don't think they get there, but two, I just want the game called fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't
That's
want
my yeah. That's the
I don't
thing.
want to go and watch this AFC Championship game and it be the Ravens who I want to see go all the way against the Chiefs, and then they just get bailed out after bailout after bailout, and it just leaves that bad taste in your mouth. And now you're really like, dude, like this shit's fucking rigged. I just want to see two teams who haven't been there, some new blood in there, preferably the Dolphins and the Ravens, AFC Championship game, and then they go to the Super Bowl, and then they can rig whatever they want there. But at least in the NFC or the AFC, well, it's going to be hard in the NFC because you got Dallas and Philly, and they get all the bailouts you could possibly think of.
The
You know what I'm
Niners,
saying?
baby.
No, the Niners don't need bailouts. You know what I'm saying? That's how good they are. But the Philly gets bailed out a lot.
Hmm.
I think
But
I think it,
that's
I
go
think
ahead.
it's time for the Kansas City invitation to be shut down. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, with this, right? Like you said, that number one seed makes a difference, right? We still got, with certain teams losing, the Bills are still in the mix. You know what I mean? The Chargers, they got to win. They could still be in the mix. And there's plenty of teams that are still in the mix here. So with that being said, I think Kansas City is going to have a tough run to the championship game. So if they get into like a shootout or anything, if they get in the shootouts, I don't know. They might get bailed out, they might not. But I think it's time, like you said, that there's going to be some new blood. I mean, I would feel a lot more confident if Joe Burrow is still playing. You know,
Dude, that's one that sucks.
yeah,
I mean, Jake Browning looked good. Jake Browning looked good with them, but imagine how good they look with a healthy Burrow too. You know what I'm saying?
fact,
Now it's really going to be it. Now it's really imagine like a healthy Deshaun with
facts,
Cleveland with that defense. Saying I know it's more the defense you're scared of at the point, but still,
Yeah, I'm
it's more of
scared
a
of
gauntlet.
Deshaun.
You got to. And if the Bills was playing up to par, you know what I'm saying? And all those kind of teams like that, like now it's really a gauntlet. They have to. This would be a test this year. But not only getting the bailouts on the field, they're getting bailed out with teams QBs going down
I
now. You know
know
what I'm
that
saying?
shit's crazy.
So
Yeah,
it's like
I definitely think.
imagine if Rodgers played the full season with the Jets, and the Jets were looming to make the playoffs. That's a team nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to play them.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a year premature. Maybe it might be next year where they finally don't get to an AFC Championship in the Pat Mahomes era. But at the same time, with that being said, it's like I really like that Ravens defense. That Raven
I do
defense is
too.
flying off the ball,
No, it is.
and
Yeah, because there's like three teams in the whole entire AFC that could shut you out
yeah, facts.
on
And the
any
good
given
thing,
Sunday. It's the Ravens, the Browns, and the Jets. Those are the only three defenses that could blank you
but you
anytime at any moment.
but you know what the difference is with the Ravens? The Ravens they can hold the time of possession away from Pat. That's what I like
Exactly.
with that
The
run
run game.
game. Yeah, with that run game, I could see them definitely holding that time of possession, slowing the
Yeah, because what
game
was it?
down.
It was like a couple weeks ago. It was like their first possession of the game. They
Like
burned like
seven,
12 minutes.
8 minutes. Yeah,
No, it was like 12 minutes. They burned like 12 minutes of possession. The whole
yeah.
first quarter they spent with the ball. Like imagine if you could do that every time you touch the ball. You burn 8, 9 minutes every single time. You just
Facts.
run the ball, take your 45 seconds to snap it again, run it for another 3 yards, 45 seconds, get your first down, and then do it all over again methodically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like that's the way.
That'd
That's
be
the
the way to
way
do
they
it.
don't want to get to a
Keep
shootout
the
with
ball.
Pat.
Yeah, keep the ball away from him.
So I definitely think this might be the first year KC in the Pat Mahomes era don't make it to the AFC Championship game because they got to figure out that offense. And they got. I feel like this ain't the way they've been getting by, but they got to go out there and see Mike Evans this summer, and they got to go try to get Mike Evans to KC. They got to go try to get somebody. They
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of guys out there available. It's just the price tags with the ones that are gonna be good. Like Mike Evans, he's gonna get paid. Ayuk's gonna get paid. T. Higgins, Devontae.
it, it's
Jerry Judy might come at a little bit more cost effective price, but you really want to pay all that money for a guy that might give you half a season or so. You know what I'm saying? But that's a topic for another day. But still,
yeah,
I see
no,
what you're saying.
it just
Mike would be crazy though with Pat Mahomes.
the
Oh,
Pat would be crazy. It's just that
Pat.
homegrown talent thing. It works sometimes, sometimes you can grow talent and then they become
But it's
stars.
not even the Chiefs' fault. We're gonna talk about that. It's not even their fault, man. It's not even like they like the guys they're drafting don't have any kind of talent whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Sky Moore, when they drafted Sky Moore, it was about his athleticism and his great hands. You know
But
what I'm saying?
that's a problem. They're trying to
They
replace
haven't
Tyreek.
they haven't allowed him to showcase it. You know what I'm saying? Tony, I get it. He has a dropping problem, but
Yo,
you could drop plays for him to get in space because he's an
They're
excellent
trying
runner.
to replace Tyreek. That's the
I'm
problem.
just saying they have talent, but they're not using them in the
You're
ways that
you're,
make them better.
you're never going to replace Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is a once in a lifetime type player. The speed and being able to catch that, you're never going to be able to replace him. So what they do, they try to go to this committee thing. But I think Rashid Rice could not replace Tyreek, but he is. I feel like a solid.
He's the most solid guy right now.
Yeah,
Him, Kelsey, and Pacheco is really what's helping them right now.
facts. But we'll see. All right, so moving on. I got to ask y'all this question, right? We have a rookie quarterback that the Carolina Panthers passed on.
oh hey,
You know, and he's having a year that we haven't seen from a rookie almost ever. Already has 3,500 yards this year. He's been keeping his turnovers down, and he's looking like he's going to be a guy in the future that we need to pay attention to. And that's C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud right now, I don't know. He could be a little more back in that MVP race, but he's definitely in there. Obviously he'll be Rookie of the Year. And I got this question for y'all, right? Has C.J. Stroud already surpassed Deshaun Watson as the best quarterback in Houston Texans history?
oh, this one's tough. This one's tough, and I'm gonna have to say no. Like Deshaun's done a lot there. Let's. I think we are thinking about Deshaun and we picture him in the Browns uniform, but like you gotta just forget about what's going on with Cleveland Deshaun and the case. Just forget about that, and just remember those 3-4 years that he had there. That was crazy. It was absolute craziness. I mean, he damn near almost beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Like he had some electric years, and I mean the Texans. It, CJ has a possibility, but right now, no. I mean, you gotta look at Matt Schaub too. Matt Schaub has some, what, 3 hell of a good years where he won the AFC South. He took one of the years. I think he was like second, so he had a bye in the first round. Like when they had, so like not yet, but he's building. So we're watching that legacy that could be built. You know what I mean? But right now, no. But he's on the path too. That makes sense.
So,
Yeah, I 100% disagree with Howard. No, I'm just playing. I agree. I agree with Howard. I agree with him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, right now, yeah, is he on the trajectory to blow past all those accolades and everything? Yeah, dude's a baller. You can't deny him that. But to say that he is the best Texans quarterback, better than Deshaun, dude, because I mean, you got to remember, dude, Deshaun put up some insane numbers. Not just passing, rushing too. You know what I'm saying? He had Will Fuller looking like the best X receiver in the entire league for the longest time, and then he had D Hop with him. I understand he had more talent, but he can't help what the team surrounds him around. You know what I'm saying? And like Howard said, dude, he almost beat Kansas City in Kansas City. If it wasn't for his defense letting them back in the game and the spotty play call by Bill O'Brien, they would have won that game easily. Deshaun Watson was top five QB back then,
Yeah.
And so when you think of Deshaun, you think of the whole masseuse fiasco thing, and then you think of him. Your last image of him is this year, I guess, quitting on his team to get surgery, But you can't forget that 4 year run he had, man. You couldn't bring up, who's the top 5 QBs in the league without somebody fighting about Deshaun, you know.
hey, K
So
Wall,
I don't
man.
think I said I give it 2 years. Two years. He made the playoffs this year and he wins the playoff game. He come back next year, do it again. Really, it might even be. It might not. I mean, depending on what he does this year, but you
Yeah.
might even put him before that. Because don't get me wrong, Deshaun. I don't think that. How many playoff games did he win? I think he won one,
Yeah.
maybe a
Yeah.
couple. Maybe I'll give him. Let's just say two for arguments, because I don't know off the top of my head. If Buddy gets here, say God helps him get to the AFC Championship, win, lose, or draw, he gets him to the AFC Championship with that squad. Yeah, he's better than. Yeah, he's the best
Hey, yo,
QB
K
there is.
Wall, man. I'm disappointed in you, bro. I need you to rip off the tattoo and give it to me. I need to be rocking this. Yes. 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 He already done surpassed Deshaun as the best quarterback in Houston Texan history.
Damn, boy.
So are you going off of like stats? Are we doing like stats? Or are you just saying just based off
Look,
image and likeness?
look, man. No, I'm talking stats, all that stuff, bro. Look, man. Look, man. I'll be honest. No, if you sit here and say we saw this CJ Stroud coming into the league, even you as the number one Ohio State quarterback, I mean Ohio
Even I
State,
didn't see this shit coming. I'm not gonna lie.
even you, I understand. But if you sort of say y'all saw this coming into the league, I'll say you're lying. The one Raiders GM that said, "Oh man, I wanted to trade everything." He didn't see this.
Yeah.
There ain't no way he saw this. Look, man, 3,500 yards already, which means by the end of this season, he got a chance to throw for at least 5,000 in his rookie year. I understand Deshaun Watson tore his ACL his rookie year. He didn't get the full. But even at that, Deshaun has never thrown for 5,000 yards. And we could say, we could probably taper that back because, we got the 17th game now, all that stuff. But Deshaun never done that. The way that he's keeping these turnovers down, he makes some rookie mistakes, but we don't see that. We're looking at a guy that if you did not know, you would think he was a 10-year vet already. He is taking this team to new heights already, where, they're probably going to be a playoff team.
Crazy.
They keep winning, they're probably going to be a playoff team. And you mentioned it. He did not have a DeAndre Hopkins. He don't have a DeAndre Hopkins on his team.
Yeah, that's what makes it so much more like, for argumentative purposes, makes it a lot harder because Deshaun had a DeAndre Hopkins, he had Will Fuller, and then he had what was that guy's name? Was it Lamar Miller, the running back?
Yeah.
He had a Lamar Miller who was still youthful at the time. He was still elusive. He had a decent line with Tunsil and whatever his other guys, and then he had a good defense too. So I mean, It's hard, bro. It's
it's
just
hard because Deshaun.
we haven't seen Deshaun ball out in so long. That's
No,
what's
no, no,
making it
no, no,
like
no,
an
no.
easy
We're
decision.
going to be truthful. Deshaun was great in Houston. Deshaun was great. His elusiveness, the way he could get out of tackle, out of sacks, and still make plays downfield was absolutely greatness. Deshaun was great back then. Top five, some say top three quarterback in the league at the time. But this kid is special. The things that he's doing on the season with a rookie coach, with wide receivers that were third, fourth options everywhere else, to already have thrown 3,500 yards. And what were we in week, 13, 14? What, week 13?
Yeah.
So, by the next couple of games, we don't think he could get 1,000 yards? Another 1,000 yards? Another
It's gonna be
1,500
hard.
yards?
Tank Dell's out. It's gonna be hard.
No, but
Yeah, I forgot about that guy, dude. Tank Dell. Like, good lord, that's his Will Fuller. You're gonna make it, and then you could probably say Nico is gonna be his D Hop, because I mean Nico's nice too. I hate that I didn't get that guy in the draft, bro.
So look, man, I don't know, bro. To me, CJ is already the best quarterback, because you also got to think the Houston Texans organization is, they don't got a history yet. I mean, they've been around. I remember when the Houston Texans first came around. That was like what?
Years.
Yeah, like craziness. So is CJ the best quarterback in Houston Texans history already? Yes. 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 He won a playoff game this year, like you said. That leaves no doubt.
Oof. All right. I don't know, man.
You don't see it?
It might be tough test to get to the playoffs this year. Honestly, it's tight. And without Tank Dell, they got some big games coming up. Yeah, so I mean, he's gonna be tested.
I've seen this, but I've seen this kid do it a couple of times this year, where he's down. We specifically once against Tampa Bay, where he's under a minute left, taking the length of the field to win the game. This kid is special. This kid is definitely special. I think.
I agree. He is special. It's just how special.
Hey man, I think if any team is going to drop out of the playoff picture right now, I think it'll either be Cleveland or Indy.
Here's the crazy thing: the Texans, they still have to play they have to play Indy, they have to play the Browns, Titans twice, and the Jets. Like they got dog fights.
Nah, we're not worried. I don't think you necessarily are worried about the Jets this week. I don't think you're necessarily worried about the Titans.
Hey.
Hey, the
Jets will catch you, boy. Jets will catch you when you lacking. Yeah. I promise you.
Hey, so you tell me when you're lacking. So you got Zach Wilson coming in and being a dog this week.
I do. This last time. This last time I'm taking a flight on 757 Wilson. All right, this is the last flight I'm taking. All right.
Hey man, I'm with it, bro. All right, man. All right, man. Let's get to it. I need to start talking the real, right? We got a quarterback with all the talent in the world. This quarterback, could be the number one quarterback in the league. It just hasn't panned out where it's like where he's constantly making playoffs. The numbers will be there, but he's just not constantly being that guy that we expect him to be. And the person I'm talking about is Justin Herbert. He obviously has some team defects because, other than Keenan Allen, his wide receivers can't catch the ball. Austin Eckler look like he's running in sand a lot of times this year. Maybe he's hurt or whatever. But is it time to start saying Justin Herbert is overrated?
Finally.
What?
Bro, yes. Is he
What?
overrated? Yeah, I think he is a little overrated, bro. Like, okay, all right. So don't even. I know it sounds skeptical to think, but let's take a look at his roster that he's playing with. For every reason that we just hyped up C.J. Stroud to be better than prime Deshaun Watson in Houston when Buddy was a 10-season minimum game winner a year. When have we ever seen Justin Herbert wheel his team to that many wins for one and look like that good as Deshaun Watson like that? And every year it's the same thing. It's the coaching. It's the OC. They bring in Kellen Moore. Nothing changes. And you can't put it all on Brandon Staley. You know what I'm saying? He's got two jobs to do. Take care of the defense and the offense. And he's a defensive-minded coach. You know what I'm saying? Justin Herbert is a gamer. Just like Deshaun Watson is he's a gamer. I mean a baller. They're both ballers. They put up great stats. They're fun to watch play, but they don't necessarily elevate their team to the next level. And when a team that has a Keenan Allen in his prime and Austin Eckler in his prime, I get it. Mike Williams can't stay healthy, but you've got a surplus of other guys that you could roll in there to make look good. And you got defense where you've got notable names on the other side of the ball, and you guys can't win yourselves to victory against some of the most meager of opponents. No, I don't think he's. I don't. No, absolutely not, bro. I can't keep defending this man and making excuses for him because usually, remember, we used to say, "Oh, imagine if Herbert was on the Dolphins. Imagine what they'd be doing with Tua instead of Tua." Imagine if Tua was on the Chargers right now. You could really make that same argument right now. Imagine if Tua was on the Chargers. How would they look? You know what I'm saying?
Horrible.
Put CJ Stroud on the Chargers. Put Stroud on the Chargers tonight. Put him on the Chargers for this week. Imagine what that thing looks like. Herbert is good. Like I said, he's good. He's a baller. He's gonna put up video game numbers and all stuff. But he's never gonna wheel a team to victory or uplift them because I don't think he's a leader. I don't think I don't think he's got that what it takes to be a quarterback. And we've talked about this with other guys before too. I don't think he has that second gear to get into his guy's face, you know what I'm saying, to wheel him to victory like a leader would. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about Derek Carr, you know what I'm saying? You never see the guy so passionate to go out there and still lose. But you got the traits. I would love to see that kind of fire out of Justin Herbert once in a while. That kind of fire, you know what I'm saying? That's probably all they need to hear. These dudes are self-policing themselves, and the mediocrity is it's like an infection now. They're just cool with it. A team that talented for as long as they've been have no playoff wins to show for it, and the only thing they want to blame is the coach. So what I hope happens is they get a good coach in there, and the same thing happens. Because we make so much excuses for this man, Justin Herbert, but we ridicule everybody else. I don't understand why he, of all people, gets a free pass. As if he's in some destitute place with no weapons, no help, no line, no nothing. It's not like they haven't spent money. They've spent a lot of money on that line. They spent a lot of money bringing in talent. They've drafted guys that haven't always panned out, but they paid the right guys, and it's just mediocre. Mediocre.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree pretty wholeheartedly on that one, boss. I don't think we see eye to eye. Yeah. Here's the thing. So the question is he overrated? So I think we all can consider him top 5 or he's 5, 6, 7 best quarterback in the league, right? All can kind of agree on that. He's anywhere between 5 and like 7, right? Does any of this change? Like, does even if he doesn't make the playoffs, which he's probably not, and the season goes on, and next year we still rank these quarterbacks. Yeah. So does it stop him from being 5, 6, or 7 on my list, regardless what happens at it? No, I still think he's top 7. Let's just say that he's at least top 7, and regardless how the season goes, he doesn't fall out of that. He's so talented, and I'll be honest with you, I was a little skeptical. I had to start watching these games, bro. You cannot make this shit up that this man has to deal with. The drive, because he literally puts his team in positions to win, and his team fails him. So I can't say he's overrated. I'm sorry, I just can't. Sure. I think he's the same place next year.
The thing I don't like, right, is that we're willing to get on Trevor Lawrence, say Trevor Lawrence, like not me personally, but people will sit here and say Trevor Lawrence is not that good. He's not that guy. But Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert do a lot of the same things. The arm talent is pretty similar, everything, but y'all are willing to go say Trevor Lawrence is overrated, Trevor Lawrence is not this. But then when it comes to Justin Herbert, he just like the baby face. Like if this is WWE, he'll be the baby face. He's the guy that no matter what he does, he's perfect example. He's Shawn Michaels, right? We know Shawn Michaels was out here being a dirtbag, cocky, whatever. But we will never sit here and be like, oh man, Shawn Michaels is just that. We'll always give him a pass. And that's what happens with Justin Herbert. He gets the pass no matter what happens in the seasons. It's a shame he got all the talent in the world, right? When we talk about Justin Herbert, we should talk about him the same way we talk about Josh Allen. But we don't. Why? Because he can't win. Yo, Keenan Allen, like no matter where you want to rank him, he's been a top eight-ish wide receiver the past since he pretty much been in the league. No matter where you want to rank him, he's there. Austin Eckler, been a top 5-ish running back since he's been in the league. So with that talent right there, right? How can we sit here and be like, oh, Justin Herbert, talented and all this, but he don't deserve to be called overrated? At this current moment in time, he is overrated.
Overrated. Imagine him on a squad with no weapons. I keep coming back to CJ Stroud because it's the only guy I can really who's the proof in the pudding. Not that, no slight to the guys that he's got, but you can't tell me anybody in Houston's on the level of Keenan Allen. And there's nobody in that running back room that's on the level of Austin Eckler. And they've got nobody on the side of defense with the name value and the accolades as a Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Derwin James either. You know what I'm saying? So I know the defense has nothing to do with Herbert, but I'm just saying, as far as if you take Herbert today and you put him on Houston, maybe it is a play calling thing. Maybe it is they're not scheming him up for him. But great quarterbacks, like the ones we just talked about this entire episode, those A-plus quarterbacks can overcome the inefficiencies on offense. That's why it's called an audible. If you see something you don't like that they're telling you to run, call an audible. You've got that kind of clout. You as a $200 million man, you can call an audible and call what you think you want to see happen. And don't get me wrong, they run it up. They run up the yards, the passes, TDs, in some kind of way. They find a way to lose.
Yeah, every time. He's the guy, right? To me, how can I put it? If I'm drafting a team, right? If I'm starting my team, right, and I got the 5th or even the 4th pick, right? And it come down to let's say Pat went first, Joe Burrow, then Josh Allen, right? And it comes down to Lamar or Herbert, or let's say Trevor, right? Like, I'm not just sitting here saying I'll go straight for Lamar. I really consider taking Justin Herbert, but it's just something not clicking. And maybe it's the easiest comparison, right? Because the Chargers thing. But what if he is just Phillip Rivers?
Oh, stop! And the other thing is, bro, the media portrays this image of Herbert, like, inadvertently protects him from all corrective criticism because of his coach or the play calling. You know what I'm saying? So you have this ideology that Herbert is this elite A-plus quarterback, you know what I'm saying, that's just being held back by everything else. And I used to believe that, but the more I'm watching now, I'm like, bro, he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. I'm not gonna say the dude is not talented whatsoever. He's a great football player. But as far as saying he's some elite talent that can overcome, his current situation, I don't think so. I think he's just as good as the guys you named at the back end of the top 10, as a Herbert, a Dak, those kind of guys. I wouldn't put him in the top 5. Talent-wise, sure, but how long are we going to keep ranking him in the top 5 just because of talent? You know what I'm saying? The other guys that are in the top 5 are talented and they're proving it on the football field. You know what I'm saying? That talent should only get you so far.
And we're getting to a place where it's like you said, the talent can get so far. And as far as him being elite, right? This is where the time that he should be breaking through, being that elite guy, right? We get so excited. We were so excited, especially when Russell Wilson came over to the West, right? We were sitting here like, damn, yo, this is about to be crazy. It's gonna be a battle. Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert. Yo, he should not be that far. Yeah, whatever. Derek Carr was there, now Jimmy, whatever. But it should not be that far of a gap between him and Pat. We obviously say Pat is number 1, whatever we'll do, but it should not be that big of a gap between him, because there's not that big of a gap between Pat and Joe Burrow. There's not that big of a gap between Pat and Josh Allen. There's not that big of a gap between Pat and Lamar Jackson. Yeah. There should not be that big of a gap between Pat and Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert got all the talent in the world. And when we sit here and be like, Quinn Johnston dropped that pass. Yes. Yes. That was a terrible drop for a pro wide receiver in the NFL. Absolutely. But why is his team always in these situations? Yo, how do they get up 21 point, 14, 21? Sometimes in that playoff game against Trevor, up 28. and they still lose these games.
I love Herbert for that though. I love Herbert for that. You have no idea how much money I made on that comeback with Trevor Lawrence in the Chargers one. That one right there, I was like, bro, I should just buy an authentic jersey of Justin Herbert for this. That was a goated moment for him. But like you said, bro, like I mean, I'm not gonna keep beating a dead horse, but the gap between, let's say, Trevor and Justin Herbert, it should be Herbert here and Trevor about right here. You know what I'm saying? About right there. Because as far as talent goes, as Howard stated right there, I think Herbert's a more talented guy than Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence wins. Trevor Lawrence moves the ball. Trevor Lawrence is in the playoff contention every year. You know what I'm saying? Trevor Lawrence is going to win his first playoff game this year, probably.
Hey man, I don't
So
know.
you could have, huh?
I don't know why y'all hate on Trevor like that, bro. I think Trevor's not.
I don't hate on. I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying with the physical abilities that Herbert possesses, it's not translating to the NFL. Now, if Herbert went to the Canadian Football League or the USFL or something like that,
Here we go.
Dude, he would never lose a game down there. Never lose a game. And I think it might just be a mental fortitude thing that I've been preaching, bro. Not everyone's built to be the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the guy.
That's hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? But there's not enough. There's too many Chiefs and not enough Indians on the Chargers. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? No one's letting him maybe assume that role, or maybe he don't want to assume that role. And we see how that can hurt teams going on. Even in basketball, we can see how that hurt teams. When KD didn't want to be the guy in Brooklyn, it all fell apart. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
it looks like the same things happening in the Chargers. So what I really, like I said, last thing I'm gonna say, like I said, I really hope they get rid of Staley and Kellen Moore kicks rocks. They bring in a whole new management. You know what I'm saying? And then we can really see who's holding who back.
Hey man, the kid's tougher than else. I'm gonna give him that. And I wanna personally say thank you for my fantasy team this year. You know, Herbert, you've done a lot for me. But you know, what's your final thoughts on this?
I don't think he changes whether he I don't think his spot changes whether he wins and goes to playoffs this year or doesn't. So asked, is he overrated? No, he's perfectly rated where he's at.
Okay, so last question with you, right? Because you know I get on Josh a lot because I want to rank him with the elites, right?
Yeah.
If you say we should not rank Herbert with the elites, I'll let it go because I feel like okay, cool. If we're ranking them with really good quarterbacks, okay, cool. But should we rank Herbert with the elites?
Nah, he ain't elite yet.
Like, yeah,
he's that tier right next.
Herbert is definitely top 10, like without a question of doubt. I'm not blind to the fact of that. He's top 10. There's a lot of guys in that top 10 whose teams are ass. You know what I'm saying? But as far as putting him in the top 5 over like a Jalen Hurts or a Joe Burrow or a Lamar Jackson, guys who are actually winning and going to the playoffs perennially every year, I think the only guys who are safe in that top 5 from being shifted around are Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen right now. But it's only getting better. Guys are only getting better. Look at Tua. Look at Brock. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about him, but I mean, dudes is winning. I get it. It's a lot easier with their squads, but look at a Stroud. Stroud's on his way, on the up and up. Trevor Lawrence is only getting better by the day. You know?
Well, I mean, hopefully he can turn it around. All right, so let's get into our picks. All right, so we got Carolina versus New Orleans.
Give me New Orleans. Carolina's been pissing me off lately.
Yeah, I'm done with the Carolina, bro. I'm taking New Orleans. I tried, bro. I tried to.
Yeah.
Maybe if they fired the coach and come back with, no, they went and got smacked. So whatever.
Hey man, I'm going with my dogs, man. Look, man, I cannot concede this number 1 overall pick to the Bears.
This will be the week 2. Watch this.
I cannot concede this number 1 overall pick to the Bears. We gotta win. We got to win. Give them number 2, number 3. I'll be cool with it. Just not the number 1 overall pick. All right, Tampa Bay versus Atlanta.
Atlanta.
You get Atlanta? I'm going Tampa.
Bro, Atlanta's a lot better than you think, bro. Motherfuckers, just because of the whole Arthur Smith and Ritter thing, that team is ready to. If there's a team ready to, that's just being held back. If Herbert was on the Falcons, it'd be over, bro.
Hey man, as much as I want to go Atlanta, I feel like it's a must win for Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
Yes.
All right, Indy versus Cincy.
You're what? Oh!
Indy building my Nuggets, boy. Ain't nobody checking Pittman this week. It's Indy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Indy too, but damn, it's close.
Nah, this Indy team is out for blood.
I want to go Cincy so bad. I'm gonna go Cincy. I'm gonna go Cincy, I think. But watch. This be the week that Browning turned back into a pumpkin. Watch.
Yeah. There's a reason why he was shifted around 25 times since 2019. Buddy.
All right, Jags versus Cleveland with the possibility of Trevor still playing.
Give me the Jags.
So what is it leaning towards? Him playing or him not playing?
Game time decision.
Fuck, I'm going Cleveland. I think that defense.
I think Cleveland is going to actually start DTR over Flacco, so I'm going to go Jags. All right, Houston versus Jets.
Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets.
Yeah, this contradicts everything I just said about CJ Stroud because I said I was taking the Jets before the show, so I'm about to go to the Jets. Damn.
Boy, that Jets defense, they made some good. Yeah, they made some good quarterbacks look bad.
I'm going Houston now here, man. I think CJ need this to stay in the playoff hunt. All right, Rams versus Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm with y'all there. I'm going Baltimore myself. Detroit versus Chicago.
Detroit. Are you gonna take the upset?
I'm gonna take the upset here, dude. I'm gonna take Chicago.
Wow, playing too smart.
I'm about the Bears and Lions. The Bears just got Detroit's number, bro.
I low key want because Detroit ain't looking like they used to look. You know,
Laporta is.
All right, yeah, I'm going Detroit.
Yeah, I'm just taking the Bears on a hunch, like as a.
All right, Minnesota versus Vegas.
Minnesota, give me the Vikings.
Give me Vegas. The Raiders.
JJ come back. JJ big game, Minnesota. All right, Seattle versus San Fran. I kind of know where everybody's going here.
San Francisco.
Yeah, San Fran it is. All right, KC versus Buffalo. Ooh.
What you gonna do, K-Wall?
No, this is your game, bro. You go first.
You know where I'm going. I'm representing. Bill's coming in there. We're gonna do what we got to do.
The boys around here.
We're gonna do what we need to do to get to the playoffs.
Hey, Rob.
Take it.
I'm taking the Bills.
You bastard.
I was going Bills too, but I think this is a must win for this. Where's it? Oh, it's in Buffalo. Oh, it's in KC.
No, KC.
I wanna. They've been on losing streak. I'm gonna go KC. No, I'm going Buffalo. I'm sticking.
Oh, damn!
That's
right.
cold.
Denver versus Chargers.
Denver.
Chargers. Herbert wins games like these.
Come on, Herbert. I need a big week from you, fantasy wise. So we're going Chargers. All right, Philly versus Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, I think Dallas does win this game.
I'm actually taking. That defense has been getting. Oh
yeah.
No, I'm gonna go to Philly.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Philly. Monday Night Football. We got Green Bay versus Giants.
Green Bay, boy, they live in life large.
Yeah, the Greenies.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay myself, and then we got 2 Monday Night Football games. We got Tennessee versus Miami.
Yeah, this is a joke.
Miami.
Thursday game.
Thursday, Chargers versus Vegas.
Give me the Chargers to stay alive.
Give me the Vegas Raiders to stay alive.
Y'all know I'm going Chargers. All right, we got a couple more. We got Saturday games. The show might not be out by then. All right, so we got Minnesota versus Cincy.
Cincy.
Really? Give me Minnesota.
I'm gonna take Minnesota. All right, Pittsburgh versus Indy.
Pittsburgh.
Pickett should be back. Go Pittsburgh.
I'm taking Indy in that game. And Denver versus Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah.
Denver versus Detroit. I'll take Detroit myself. All right. Well, that's our picks. We're going to see what we got going next week. All right, man. This has been another great episode of the Stay and Bounce podcast. I'm your host, Corey P. Signing out for Howard and K-Wall. Good night.
Hey, see y'all.